Hey there YouTube. Today I'm doing a quick video review of the Skil saw. It's a factory reconditioned unit, 3540-01RT. It comes in this box, so it doesn't have any artwork or anything. Just comes with a guide here. That comes with a little guard for the splashing of the water and the chips. There's the reservoir for the water. As you can see, I've already used this. There is a bevel, so you can adjust this and you can do a miter cut. This rotates. Yeah. The power cord is sufficiently long. I'd say it's about 6 foot. Very nice. There's a little hook over on this side, so you can... I taped the wrench that comes with it to put the blade on. I just taped it right to the side of the unit, out of the water zone, so I don't lose it. I also did that with the manual. Put the manual in the plastic bag if you're going to do that. If you're cutting tile, be sure to go out and get some China markers. They're like $3 and they write on tile and you don't have to worry about damaging the tile and it cleans off really easy. Oh, and the water, since it's wax, doesn't wash off your line so you can see your line. I didn't even use the guide for a lot of the cuts because this guide is really hard to read when the table is covered in water. So like, I should have left it wet. But the water is like a muddy gray color from cutting the tile, and it blends in, so you can't really read this at all. These lines, and also the lines aren't really graduated. So like, if I needed a 2.5 inch cut, I'd have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 little notches. Like this line should be taller to let you know that's a half. Just a little design flaw. Be sure to keep these tracks clean. They'll get cruddy and then it'll stop draining and your table will get even wetter. So just make sure you brush these off with a rag after every couple cuts to keep it flowing. The guard. I've read how wet these cheap saws are. I paid $70 shipped on eBay for this, and everyone's like, oh, it's going to soak you, and put up a... they said to put up a drop cloth, you know, like a plastic sheet to protect your area around you. And I kept the water between the minimum and the max line that you can't see very well right here. So I think what people do is they put it over the max and then the blade spins and catches even more water than it needs on the tip of it to cool it and clean it. So it shoots the water out, but you just want to keep just enough water to keep your blade wet on the tip. And you'll hear it when it becomes dry and it'll get dustier. Like, it's not rocket science. There's the nameplate on the back. So after cutting 8 24-inch tiles and then going to bed, I woke to this in the morning. This was full of water. I dumped it, but now, since I didn't clean it, it turned into a nice tile surface inside the reservoir. This is going to be fun to clean. So a tip I have is to actually make sure you clean this every night, even if you're only going to bed for 8 hours. Yeah. Alright, since I got to take this apart anyway, during assembly, you just remove these 2 screws here on the right side and pull off this plastic cover to install the blade. That's the actual water intake on the bottom of that cover. The little holes that allow it to get up into the blade. And when you're putting the blade on, there'll be this one bolt and then this washer kind of thing on here, and the blade goes in between the 2 washer things and the bolt goes on top of the washer. And make sure that your blade arrow is going counterclockwise. And the other part of assembly, I guess, is this guard. You're going to want to tuck it in there. It goes under, and then you screw from the top. So here's the tile I was cutting. It's actually a charcoal from Lowe's. It's 12 by 24, and it cut it just fine. Finished product. 1/8 of an inch grout lines on this rectified tile. It's very nice. I did long cuts here with that saw with no problem. I did the toilet flange as best as I could. I did very good corner cuts. Oh, also the guard, how it works is these two little squares have to go in this guide, and I'll show you this. When I tighten it, it'll walk, see, as you turn it, so you kind of got to keep an eye on that, so don't just throw it on there and start turning and expect it to stay where it is, because it likes to, the screw likes to make it walk. Other than that though, 70 bucks well spent. I think it's like 90 new in the store. I got it reconditioned. There's nothing wrong with it. Very happy I did not use a snap cutter. It allowed me to do a lot of cuts, like corner cuts, and even like the toilet flange cut without using the nippers too much. For the toilet flange cut, I just literally took the blade and kept cutting like in a circular like crescent, you know, for the flange, and then I would kind of use the side of the blade, even though you're not supposed to clean it up. But yep, would purchase again.